There are rebates available above and beyond the Energy Star program that can help you subsidize these costs. Yes, by taking a furnace from an AFUE 80 up to a 92 or a 96, it's going to cost more money. The utility companies realize that there's savings in that, and they'll incent you. They'll give you money back, maybe half, even more, that upgrade cost. So again, you're not out there on your own doing this. Same with air conditioning. Code SEER is what, 13 right now, 13.5 soon? You can probably get up to 15 or 16 going into the field right now. Same with, well, EER, energy efficiency ratio, which is another cooling standard. You can get higher ratings there. All of these things affect the energy performance. Michelle will also talk about, she's not here right now, I hope she's going to talk about the QIV, the Quality Installation Verification, which is you're putting in a sophisticated piece of equipment, cooling equipment. How do you know it was installed properly? How do you know the charges are right? How do you know all the coils are matched? How do you know that it's sized properly? This is a big part of the Energy Star program right now and moving forward, that you verify that the mechanical systems you're putting in are appropriately sized and have been installed properly. And finally, hot water heatings, you're dealing with energy factors there. Most of you probably know, superstore tanks, you've seen instantaneous. Anything that you can put in to reduce the amount of energy to heat hot water is going to affect your HERS score and get you quickly down to 85. Duct systems, this is something Michelle will deal with as well, so we'll just cover it quickly. Duct systems today, they have to be sealed properly, and Mike was kind enough, I hope my voice carries, to bring duct sealant, either in a tape form. It's not duct tape. This is sticky stuff. You can't even pull it off the back, or a tub of mastic. You need to coat all the seams and any joint in a duct system. I've often wondered why it is with a hydronic heating system that a plumbing inspector comes in and he tells the plumber, I want you to fill the system, pressurize it, let it sit overnight. If there's any leaks at all, I'm failing that system. Then you get a furnace, a hot air distribution system, and the building inspector shows up and said, okay, great, and signs it off. When historically we find that there's 20% leakage. I mean, I'm not a physicist, but I do know that air carries moisture, and if air is coming out of this distribution system, it's doing some damage. So you need to seal up as best possible, less than 6% leakage. Think of it not at less than 6%. You can seal it up. You don't have to be as tight as a hydronic system. You can have 6% leakage. Now, that's a lot to play with. Insulating and locating the ducts. R4, R6, the more that you put on, the better the performance is going to be, assuming that these ducts are located outside the thermal envelope, and we'll deal with that in a little bit. In locating the pipes or locating the ducts, if you have a duct system in an unconditioned basement, there's going to be some loss of that heat because it's cold. It's going to be 50 degrees in your basement, and just basic conductive principles, a lot of that heat's going to come out. If you can move all of your ducts into the conditioned space, into an insulated room that's heated, you'll have less energy needs. Putting them in attics, why not pour more and more insulation over them? Or why not insulate the roof of the house and have the ducts inside of the conditioned space? But those are three areas that, when addressed sufficiently, can help you get down well below that HERS 85. Whole house infiltration. Again, a lot of this will have other slides. A tight house gives you a lower HERS index. Typically, you'll find homes coming in at about 5 air changes per hour at a standard pressure of 50 pascals, which is like a 20 mile per hour wind hitting hitting the side of your house. Over the course of an hour, the volume of air in that house would change itself 5 times. And it's taking away all of the energy, all of the heating and cooling energy you put into that house. If you can get below that threshold of 5, you're going to be saving energy. You're going to be bringing down that HERS index, and you can do this with compliance with the thermal bypass checklist And when you seal up your ducts, not your ducts, when you seal up your house, if you're using hybrid systems of insulation, not just fiberglass, but even spray foam and fiberglass, dense packed cellulose, or 100% spray foam, that will seal up a house very quickly, very effectively, drive the infiltration rate down, drive the HERS score down as well. Lighting and appliances is the last portion that I wanted to talk about in terms of how to get down below the HERS 85. Install CFLs, they're free. In this program, we require 50% of all screw-based fixtures, hardwired fixtures, receive CFLs. Why not 100%? Or better still, why not pin-based fixtures or LED fixtures? Anytime you can reduce the amount of energy required to light a house, to illuminate a house, that can be reflected in the HERS score. Anyone know the basic formula for regular incandescent versus CFLs? It's about 75% savings. So when you look at a 100-watt bulb, it doesn't make sense. It's not telling you how much light is coming off of that bulb. It's telling you how much energy it's consuming. What you need to know is the lumen rating on that bulb, and then match that up. If you need 1,1200 lumens for a given bulb, fine, grab a CFL. It's going to be about a 25-watt equivalent. Will give you the same amount of lumens. And if you move to LED lights, you probably need about 5 watts to give you that same number of lumens. LEDs tend to be cost prohibitive right now. And then also specifying Energy Star products. You need to specify some of them as a requirement for the program, but if you can specify all of them, dishwashers, washing machines, refrigerators, any ceiling fans, anything with an Energy Star label on it, throw in the house. HERS Rater can take a look at it, gets you down below 85 very quickly. So, thermal bypass checklist. What you're looking for, and again, I think all of you got this basic checklist. We're not going to go over it point for point, but I want to give you a quick overview of what it entails. You want an overall air barrier and thermal barrier alignment. Well, what does that mean? Okay, we'll get into that. Walls adjoining exterior walls or unconditioned spaces. These are the major categories. Floors between conditioned and exterior spaces, shafts, duct shafts, penetrations, skylights, attic and ceiling interface. That's a critical area we find a lot of problems with. And then common walls between dwelling units. If you're building a multi-unit building, if you're building attached family housing.